incredible speed. On Sunday, June 16, 2024, in the Zamość area of Poland, a really bizarre incident took place. The event took place during a storm that was approaching that area. The eyewitness, who usually enjoys capturing such natural phenomena, decided to record the incoming storm from the safety of his apartment. He took out his cell phone and set the resolution to 1080p and started recording at 60 frames per second. As he filmed the cloudy sky, an unexpected object was accidentally caught on camera. Let's take a look. A bizarre cigar-shaped object can be seen flying past the camera frame at an incredible speed. This object moved quickly across the frame and was not visible to the naked eye at the time. Upon analyzing the footage, it was found that the mysterious object was visible for only 0.42 seconds. The eyewitness mentioned that the object seemed to travel about 50 meters in the visible frame. This means the object was moving at an estimated speed of 120 meters per second. It passed over a tree, adding a point of reference to its swift motion. Given the high-quality recording at 60 frames per second, details such as wings should be discernible if the object were a bird. For example, if you record a flying insect at 60 FPS, you can see the movement of its wings clearly. However, in this case, no such details were visible. This preliminary observation rules out the possibility of the object being a bird. Many others suggested this to be some sort of insect. However, as I mentioned earlier, the eyewitness said the speed of this object is around 120 meters per second. And according to Google, the fastest flying are dragonflies, which fly at around 35 miles per hour, which further equates to 15.6 meters per second, which is way too less compared to the speed of this object. That means, considering the speed and the straight trajectory to which this object flies, it seems highly unlikely that this object is actually an insect. Also, insects often follow erratic and random movements instead of a straight path, which in this case, this object seems to follow a straight trajectory. So, if it isn't a bird, plane, or an insect, then what exactly is this mysterious object that appeared for less than half a second in the stormy sky of Zamość? Well, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Interaction. On the night of March 9, 2022, in Sentinel, Arizona, at around 10 p.m., at a westbound rest stop, truck driver Nick Williams encountered something extraordinary in the night sky. Nick was on his usual route, taking a break at the rest stop, when he noticed strange lights in the sky to the south. As a truck driver, Nick often traveled at night and had seen many things on the road, but this one, according to him, was completely different. He decided to take out his phone and record what he was witnessing. What Nick captured on his phone is really interesting. Take a look.
There we go. Alright. Trying to get it in focus.
The video shows what looks like two intensely glowing objects, hovering stationary in the night sky. According to Nick, the footage is clear and unedited. The bright orbs are prominently visible, but if you look closely, you'll also notice many smaller orbs moving around them.
Okay.
The most intriguing part of the video is the interaction between Nick and the orbs. At one point, Nick flashes his flashlight toward the orbs, and astonishingly, one of the orbs seems to flash back at him. This response indicates that these objects might be intelligently controlled.
Whoa, look at those guys. What in the fuck? Oh my god. Holy shit, dude! Oh my god. Dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh my god. Dude. I need to get my other camera.
The entire incident is around 7 minutes. Some people believe these objects could be military aircraft or helicopters. They argue that parachute flares deployed from helicopters or planes at a high altitude can create a similar effect, appearing to hover in the sky. This theory is supported by similar sightings during military training exercises. However, others find this explanation insufficient. The responsive behavior of the orbs, especially the way one flashed back at Nick after he signaled it with his flashlight, suggests a level of intelligence and control that flares or conventional aircraft do not possess. Nevertheless, the footage sparked a lot of discussions. But what are your thoughts on this one? Military activities, or something far more extraordinary? I leave that up to you to decide. Slow maneuver. September 2022, Quebec, Canada. It was a typical evening when a resident noticed something strange in the evening sky. The individual were going about their usual routine when they saw 3 strange lights. These lights weren't blinking, they were moving very slowly, and there was no noise coming from them. Intrigued and a bit puzzled, the person decided to record the phenomena. Let's take a look. The lights were spotted in the early evening, a time when the sky was clear and visibility was good. The resident checked flight schedules to see if there were any planes in the area. Surprisingly, there were no flights passing by at that time. The nearest airport, Montreal Pierre Elliott Trudeau International Airport, had no records of planes flying over that area during the sighting. Helicopters were also ruled out as there was no noise accompanying the lights. This led the resident to consider other possibilities. Some people suggested that these might be Chinese lanterns. However, the resident dismissed this idea completely, stating that he had never seen Chinese lanterns in their area before. People who live there have never shown any interest in lighting up Chinese lanterns. Moreover, the way the lights were moving and their formation seemed too precise to be lanterns. The 3 lights were perfectly spaced apart and moved at the same speed, which seemed odd for Chinese lanterns. Usually, lanterns drift randomly and are not so uniformly spaced. The resident watched these lights for about 3 minutes. Even after driving up to a red light, they could still see the lights clearly with their bare eyes. Many others speculated that these lights could be satellites. However, others argued that satellites typically move faster and are not as bright as these lights. The orange color and the slow movement of the lights don't exhibit anything similar to the satellites. Also, there were no military bases near St. Therese, so the possibility of these being military aircraft was also unlikely. The eyewitness was left with more questions than answers. What were these lights? Why were they moving so slowly and quietly? And what does this all mean? Were they simply ordinary objects that have a normal explanation? Or is there something more to it than meets the eye? Well, you decide. High above the city. Before I get into it, if you are new here and enjoy mysterious UFO videos like these, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel because more videos like this are on your way. That said, let's get back to the video. On January 16, 2021, in Bronx, New York, a man was walking on the streets, doing his usual evening stroll, when he noticed something highly unusual in the sky. He looked up and saw 3 mysterious lights arranged in a triangular pattern. Take a look.
Those things are orange. Look at them. Next to each other. They literally fly next to each other. They're orange in color.
The lights were moving very slowly across the sky. What made this sight even more strange was that these lights appeared to be flying horizontally, not vertically. This ruled out the possibility of them being lanterns, which usually move upwards when released. Other people on the streets also started to notice the strange lights. Though it couldn't be seen on camera, it almost sounds like a small crowd began to gather, all looking up at the sky, trying to figure out what these lights were. The lights were orange and seemed to glow steadily. The eyewitness can be heard saying that the object seemed to fly in a triangular pattern.
They look like stars. Look at that, it's a triangle. Look at that, they're orange. You guys know what that is?
As they watched, they noticed something even more intriguing. The lights made no sound at all. Usually, airplanes or helicopters can be heard from a distance, but these lights were completely silent. At one point, all the lights seemed to brighten for a moment, and then back to their original intensity. By the end of the video, the lights can be seen passing over a residential building. Though not much detail can be figured out, the video is no doubt interesting. The lack of sound, the steady movement, and the triangular formation of the lights make it a particularly intriguing event. But without further evidence, this video remains a mystery. Appearance and disappearance. On a calm evening at 9:45 p.m. in Clarkston, Michigan, a strange event took place at Lotus Lake that left a local resident absolutely baffled. This particular night, the observer was engaging in their usual evening routine, likely enjoying the peaceful surroundings of the lake. Suddenly, something unusual caught his attention.
That's a plane. This is not a plane.
At first glance, it seemed to defy the laws of physics. The object seemed to be in two places at once, or it moved so fast that the observer's eyes couldn't keep up. This wasn't a trick of the light or a camera glitch. The witness saw it with their own eyes. The UFO seemed to vanish and then reappear, adding to the confusion and intrigue. What made this sighting even more extraordinary was its interaction with the water. The UFO appeared to dip in and out of the lake, creating ripples on the calm surface. This behavior was unlike anything the observer had ever seen. It wasn't a plane or any familiar object. To give some perspective, a plane flew overhead during the sighting, but the UFO's movements were entirely different, almost as if it was putting on a show for the pilot. Feeling overwhelmed by the bizarre sight, the observer decided to walk away for a few minutes. When they returned, the UFO had completely vanished. Despite spending over an hour watching and waiting, there was no further sign of the mysterious object. The plane flying overhead provides a reference point. However, the object near the water behaves in ways that are inexplicable. It's clearly not an aircraft, and its ability to disappear and reappear is puzzling. The witness described the experience as weird and shared their account in the hope that someone else might have seen the same thing. The event at Lotus Lake remains a mystery, sparking curiosity and leaving more questions than answers. The footage from that night is both fascinating and mysterious. So did the person capture something truly phenomenal? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? Well, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, guys, and make sure to watch my other UFO videos as well. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to watch more UFO videos in the future.